Let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was a dog. A pug. Not the most elegant creature on four legs, frankly, a bit weird to look at. But absolutely everyone who owned one adored it. Why? Because underneath that squashed little face was a character you couldn't help but fall for.
This is the Kia EV2, and it might just be the pug of the electric vehicle world. And I know what you're thinking, whoa, that's a big statement, mate. But here's the headline. Kia have made an electric car for people who don't want an electric car. It's cheap, it's cheerful, and it's surprisingly practical. This could be the best value EV that you can buy right now. Let's find out. Now, I'm not going to stand here and tell you that this is the prettiest car ever made, but the front I do like. It's got that chunky, confident Kia tiger face. The lights are sharp. The stance is pretty bold. It looks tough. It looks modern. It does remind me of the smart #5, or maybe a bunker on wheels. And then we get this. The lights are away down here. They're pushed into the bumper. It's quite unconventional. A lot of people have likened this to a delivery van. Others have been less kind. But here's the thing. Do you want a car that blends in, or do you want something that gets everybody talking? Because the EV2, well, you're not going to forget that face or this backside. But honestly, if you can get past the looks, you're going to find out that Kia have done something incredibly clever.
The EV2 is built on Kia's dedicated electric platform. It's 4.06 metres long, slightly shorter than a Renault 4, about the same as a Jeep Avenger. But inside, that is where the magic happens.
Let's take a look around inside, because it's nice that Kia haven't tried to make this into a spaceship. You've got real physical buttons, so you don't have to dive into that infotainment screen just to try and turn the fan down after going through 3 or 4 sub-menus. You have got two 12.3-inch screens, one for your driving information and one for the infotainment. Between them, there's 5 inches of climate control screen, so that sandwiches them. You've got 3 screens in here, but it doesn't feel overwhelming. The steering wheel is nice. Everything is where you would expect it to be. The buttons on the left-hand side are for cruise control. The buttons on the right are for all your audio controls. And there's a couple of flappy paddles at the back. And the steering wheel, heated? Yes, it is. As well as the seats in the base model. That's a big, big thing from Kia. And talking of the seats, actually nice and comfortable. Good bit of support round here. You do sit lower than an SUV, but you sit kind of higher than a standard hatchback. And there's a nice mixture of materials here. You've got fabric on the dash, you've got soft touch materials as well, and the seats have got a nice bit of fabric on them. It's pretty well thought out. And in towards the back we come. Now, bearing in mind, I'm 6'2", give or take a few inches. That's where my driving position would be in the seat, and you can see I'm kind of pressed in here. There is good headroom, that's one nice thing. But the legroom, a little bit compromised. You've got a couple of air vents here. There's USB-Cs in the side of the seat, and strangely, you have storage on one seat, but not on the other. Electric windows, nice tinted privacy glass, Harman Kardon speakers, but I'm missing my armrest. That's something that I do look for in the back of a car. But the seats feel just as comfortable in the back as they do in the front, and they've got that same nice material feel all the way through the car. And while we're in the back, let's talk about the boot size. 362 litres of boot space, which is more than enough for your weekly shop or the dog to jump in.
Right, so how does it drive?
Quite well, actually, but more on that later. First of all, let's talk about batteries, because Kia give you 2 options in this car. You get the 42 kilowatt hour battery and the 61 kilowatt hour battery. Now, the 42 gives you 144 brake horsepower and a 0 to 62 time in just under 9 seconds. The larger battery, more range, delivers less power, which is quite strange, and the 0 to 62 time is just under 10 seconds. And that's right, Kia have given you a cheaper car with more power, so you can get a slightly peppier version of the EV2 for less money, and I like that. On the road, it's comfortable. Kia have tuned the suspension to be soft. Not too soft, but you don't dread bumps. You don't have to try and miss them, but you'll also not be terrified of a speed hump. The steering is nice and light, which makes city parking an absolute doddle, and I do like when I get to a corner that's tight or a roundabout a little bit of lock, and away you go. There's also good regenerative braking on this car. You can play with that on the paddles on the back of the steering wheel. You can reduce it right down, or you can up it to a max level, which gives you one pedal driving. This isn't trying to be a hot hatch. It's trying to be a car that you can live with every single day. And I have to say, Kia have succeeded. Let's talk range. I did touch on it earlier on, but let's dive a lot deeper. The long range battery gives you 283 miles of range. Now think of that, that's London to Newcastle on a single charge. It's quite impressive. The smaller battery, that gives you 198 miles of range, which is still perfectly fine for your day-to-day commute into the town, dropping the kids off, and of course, the occasional road trip. Charging, no problem. Pop it on a rapid charger, 10 to 80%, you do that in round about half an hour, or you've always got the option, stick it on your wall box overnight, nice and easy. Visibility in this car is good. You're not as high as you would be in an SUV, but you're kind of higher than a normal car. I like the aperture. It's a very direct angle that you look out and you can see absolutely everything. Nice big door mirrors. The view out the back, it's actually quite attractive today looking out the back window. What I do like though is the pillars at the front. The A-pillars have an air vent in them, but it doesn't take up too much of your view. They're quite narrow, even though they're chunky. Does that even make sense? Now, like most modern cars on the market, this has got lots of tech and lots of safety features. But what's nice about it, it's not overpowering. It's less of a beeper than some other cars. And that's me just getting in the car at the branch and driving. I've not had to go into the menu and turn off 4 or 5 different options. It's good to know that they are there in the background and it's keeping a watchful Kia eye on me. And I haven't got annoyed at it yet. No anger. So here's the big question, how much? Well, this is where Kia have done something genuinely unexpected. They can put you in one of these cars for under £25,000. The Air, with the bigger battery and the longer range, that comes in after Kia put a saving of £3,750 on it for you at just under £24,500. You've also got the first edition, which comes in at just under £27,000. But that's because government give you a £1,500 saving on that car. So you get the savings, but there's just different routes of getting there.
So, is the EV2 a little bit of EVU? If so, head over to arnoldclark.com where we have over 20,000 new and used cars for you to choose from. Because at Arnold Clark, we make it easy.
Let me put that into perspective for you. You get a car with just under 300 miles of EV range, heated steering wheel, heated seats, 2 12.3-inch screens, all for under £24,500. Now these prices are correct at time of filming the video. They do change, and also keep your eyes on government schemes and grants. But I have to say, that really is a fantastic price. So, is the Kia EV2 the pug of the electric vehicle world? Well, yes it is. It's not the prettiest car, and the design is definitely going to divide opinion. But if you can get past the kind of unorthodox styling, underneath that you'll find a car that has got great character. And then every other budget EV that you look at, you'll think is overpriced. This is for the people who are looking to buy their first EV, but were initially waiting for that price to drop. Or the people who are looking for a second car to buy, but don't want to feel compromised. They maybe love a bit of nostalgia, like the Renault 4, but they're not willing to pay that extra £5,000. Kia have done something really clever here. They've created a car that's good for your wallet, your family, and your daily life. But don't just take my word for it. Go and get yourself behind the wheel of one, head to your local Arnold Clark, and see if you can fall in love with the character behind the design. I'm Duncan Vincent, and this is the Arnold Clark YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit that bell icon so you never miss an upload from us. And until next time, safe driving.